I don't know where to start. I really do not know where to start. Okay. This ain't my normal stuff I post, but we're going to do this anyway. I've been so aggravated here lately. And it's not because of the quarantine. It's because of the way people are acting. I mean, some of these people can't act with common sense if it was dropped in front of their face. But that's beside the point. It's like the protesters out there. We want to go back to work. Okay, go to New York. I'm pretty sure they'll take you. Go to Ohio. I'm pretty sure they'll take you. Go to China. I'm pretty sure they will take you. But the thing of it is, put you right in the midst of it. I mean, go in there with no hand stuff, no gloves. For all you people that think that you've got an immunity or are invincible to it, go try that. Then let me know how that works out for you. I'll be waiting. I'm just saying, I'll be waiting. And then you can message me back. But anyway, or you can tell me about it. But anyway, or if it gets into your family, it's a different ball game. I'm here to tell you, quit. In the middle of me trying to make a video, the dog wants to go crazy. But anyway, I just don't get it. They want to go back to work, but yet they're making this stuff last longer and carrying it out and carrying it out and carrying it out and passing it to this one. But a lot of people don't understand that if they get it, doesn't necessarily mean that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to have major issues with it. They could have an underlying health disease they have nothing that they don't know about. And then they get it and boom, guess what? Lights out. I mean, it's point blank. Or they could have it and pass it to somebody else, not realizing it. That person not realizing that they were had contracted it, quit, and passed it to somebody else. And then, guess what? That could turn around and come back to them and end up hitting their child, end up hitting their mother, end up hitting their father. It's just the way that it passes. Hold on a second, y'all. Okay, I'm back. Anyway, I mean, it's easily transmittable. And I stay out, even during flu season, I don't go around much of doing anything. But, people just don't understand how bad it passes, and people thinks that it's a joke, and people thinks that it's conspiracy. If they think it's a conspiracy, they need to at least protect themselves. I mean, or protect anybody around them. I don't get it. And that's a really argumentative thing. And like I said, I'm a person that can think inside and outside the box. I can see it from this person's view. I can see it from that person's view. I'm really controversial. I can see it from any point of view. I can see it from my view. But a lot of people are set in their ways. This is the way that it is. This is how it's going to be. And nobody can change their mind. But when it actually happens to them, then it's a different ballgame. Then you hear them crying even worse. But, I voted Trump. Okay? I voted Democrat for Kentucky. Shut up. I didn't vote because of what my standing is. What my registration is, I should say. I voted because of me. I don't think there should be a vote. I don't think you should be a Democrat or Republican. I think it should be, and there goes Cat. I think it should be one nation under God, and that's the way it should be. They shouldn't be a Democrat. They shouldn't be a Republican. You should be able to vote for who you want to be for, or who you want in there. It shouldn't be, well, my daddy's a Democrat, I got to vote Democrat. Well, my mom is a Republican, I got to vote Republican, no matter what they're going to do. It shouldn't be like that. That's just the way that it is. It shouldn't be like that, but I can't change it. Anyway, the next thing is, everybody's blaming China, which now I've heard some things that it was a virus over there and it got released over there and blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing. When Trump knew the first time was here, or the first case was here, I get it. It's under control. But when he knew the outbreak was over there, he should have been prepared to stop down all travel. But at the time, they did not know for sure how it was being passed. They didn't know that this certain distance, or you were asymptomatic before you even come down with the symptoms. You couldn't get tested before you come down with the symptoms. Once the symptoms show, then you show positive. But they don't know how this thing's going. So at that point in time, Trump's like, okay, well, we've got one case, we've got it under control. Well, the second case come up, okay, we've got it under control. Well, when you get to 12 cases and we got it under control, but then you start seeing it scatter, you know there's a problem. Stop it. You know right then and there, he could have put a thing. But technically by, I think, the WHO or the C, one of them, I'm not for sure, I didn't do my research that far on it. But I know that you have to have over 500 cases in a certain, like, the way that it is in order to call it a pandemic. Well, they didn't want to call it a pandemic because they was afraid of people giving up, which that's what's happening now. It was happening when people didn't care, people's not doing what they're supposed to do, this would have done been over with. If they would have completely just shut down everything for 30 days from the get-go, 30 days, no shopping, nobody going to the stores, nobody doing anything, we would have done be out of this. We would done be out. It would have done wiped it out. It wouldn't be here. But I understand they've still got to have America floating. You've still got to have money coming in. You've still got to have this coming in. But this is going to postpone us reopening back up because it's got too far out of control. I mean, if all things, they could have shut down the states that it was in and the other ones keep moving and trucking or whatever. But it's not my call to make that. I just know when people start getting greedy and start needing money, things change. People act different. Money is what makes people go. People, like I said, they're saying that they're working or that they want to go back to work. The protesters are. Well, go volunteer somewhere else. Go do whatever. They're hiring here up and down the road all the time. It says now hiring right now. Get a job doing them and then turn around and go back to your other job or whatever mishap. Hold on a second. Okay, I was back. There was a car. I didn't know who it was or what it was. They were creeping and we've been having a little bit of issues, so I was kind of like curious. But I don't know. It's just, I don't know. God gave us land. Eat off of it. You've got lakes. Go fishing. People that's complaining they're hungry, it's here. You just got to learn to use it. You were raised up, a lot of people was raised up that they bank on the stores. They bank on this. They bank on that. You've got food. You've just got to know. More of your city folks do not understand that. There is the land. Use it. Even some country folk. Some people back out in the boomsticks don't even know how. They depend on the stores. If you get hungry enough, you'll learn that. There's stuff out here that you can do. But that is beside the point. Somebody... Okay, let's go on with the Beshears thing, and then I'll go on with the other one. Beshears. People are getting on his face, or on his lives every day, which will be coming up here soon, gets on there and bashes him for the abortion thing. This is a touchy subject. Let's see if we can do this without getting anybody's feelings hurt, which I don't care if y'all get butt hurt or not. I don't care. Here's the thing. People, hush! I got a cat fight going on. People, I don't know how to go about this. People, it's going to be a touchy one. I get it, people don't like abortion. I get that. I believe in a woman's rights. I believe if that woman chooses to have an abortion, she should be able to have an abortion. If that person don't want an abortion, then she shouldn't be able to. It would be the same as for all you people that don't believe in abortion, don't believe in women's rights. That's where that boils down to. I believe every woman should have the right to their own body. That is me. I believe every man should have the right to his own body. That is me. For instance, the ones of you that believe that abortion shouldn't exist. Okay, I'm going to start with you all first, which that's pretty much what this is going to boil down to. Say you needed a surgery, and I'm going to throw the guys in there too. Say they needed a surgery, and you went in that day, and they said, well, we can't do it for you. I'm sorry, because it's against your rights. I mean, we can't do that. We don't want you to have that. That's the rights now. That's the law now. You can't have that done. Okay, what are you going to do? Just think about that a minute. What are you going to do? What would you do if that situation was to come upon you? To any surgery, for that matter, any. I'm not saying just this one specific surgery or this one specific surgery. I'm saying any. And people that wants the abortion clinics closed. Here's another thing that aggravates me. They don't only do abortions. There is other surgeries, other stuff that they do in an abortion clinic. Your OBGYNs that are local. A lot of you do not know this. But they do abortions too. It's clinical. It's not surgical. It's clinical. So the next time you women decide that you want to go into an OBGYN to get your yearly or whatever, remember, you were walking in. And I can't say every one of them. I take that back. I cannot say every one of them does that. Mine does. Mine does that. Let me check my battery. Okay, I'm good. And a lot of people goes to where I go. But just think about that when you go in to get checked the next time and you've got to have your yearly done to see if there's something wrong or whatever. You're going into a clinic where they do abortions. It's the pill form. I don't know the name of the pill for sure, but they give you a pill and you take it. You go home, but you have to go through a little day waiting period. You go home, you take your pill, and you wait. And you wait for it to happen. It usually happens within 24 hours. I think you have to take like 2 of them or 1. I'm not for sure on the whole details of it, but yeah. So think about that the next time you decide to walk into a clinic when you're pregnant. That you're walking into where that they do abortions. So, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. When you're pregnant, you've got to get checked. That's all there is to it. But a lot of people does not know. So stop bashing the abortion clinics and think about when you walk into an abortion clinic or where they do abortions. So do your research. I promise. Google's your best friend. And anywho, that's where I lead on to don't get on stuff like that and say, hey, this is the reason why I don't like him is because he's a baby killer. No, he's just for women's rights. Same as he is for anybody's rights. He's for your rights. If you choose to have that, that's on you. You need to deal with the consequences. Kind of like if you're sitting and worrying about who's getting an abortion and who ain't and who's doing this and who's doing that, that kind of makes you nosy. In reality, it kind of makes you nosy. It's about like sitting at your front window and apparently you do this all day. Sit at your front window and be like, oh, this neighbor's doing this neighbor's doing that because you ain't got nothing else better to do. Find something to do. This is your time. Everybody's in quarantine. Find something to do. Find something with your time. Find out who you are. Learn your family. And I watched a video on one of my people that I watch on YouTube, and this is actually a good time if people would think about it. And that's what got me thinking about it, in which he's right. But use this time for you. Don't use it because use it for you. Do things that you've got to get done. Enjoy it. I'm sorry, my neck's acting really bad up today. Where I've got that bulging disc and stuff from that car wreck. And it's raining, so it's really acting up. That nerve's messing up on me. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. Do what you've got to get done. Stuff that's been on your list. Stuff that you wanted to do 10 years ago. Sit down. Do a puzzle. Do something that you can find out you like doing. You may surprise yourself. The cats want to be on the video. Anyway. Yeah, and if anybody needs, like, 5 cats, let me know. 4 cats, or 5, 6 cats, let me know. Hit me up. Trust me, I will give them away. Anyway, back to what... Let's get back on subject. I don't get it. I don't get it with people. I don't get it how they think that they're so invincible to this. I mean, they're not dropping over like flies here. Thank God. Because New York, they were. But anyway. It's like the lady that was complaining to me about the whole church thing. About how, why do they keep the liquor stores open? And she called me pretty much saying that I was crazy and I was blind because I wanted to see a preacher go to jail. No, I don't want to see I don't want to see anybody go to jail over this. I want them to think about their congregation. It's not that I want anything else but them to think about their congregation and putting their people at risk. A lot of people's doing the drive-in services. My cousin's doing the drive thing where you pull up in your car. My church is doing it online. I post both of them today. So people's got different views of what kind they like to listen to. And my cousin's more the old-fashioned type, and my church a little bit more in the upper. They've moved it up with the generations, like as it changes. I want to be back in church too. I want to be back there running the lights. I'm on the back line when we do the church. Anytime it's live, I'm on the back side of it. I've done almost everything up there other than the soundboard, I think. I've read the slides a few times. I've used the video. I haven't never had to do the soundboard, and I don't know if I ever want to do that. But anyway, that's beside the point. The lady was like, well, they need to close the liquor stores. No, you're going to have people sick. They're going to go into the hospital. We're going to have 300 or 400 beds piled up with drunk people that are withdrawing. And if we do have a corona outbreak, them hospital beds could have been filled with the people that are sick. And then she said, well, they need to sober up or die. How can you be so Christian and say people need to sober up or die? When somebody can explain it, let me know. I mean, I really would. These protesters has just got to stop. They would understand this would stop a lot sooner. There's so much of what ifs that people don't sit and look at. They're doing this in their own way. They're like, I don't see nobody sick. It's nothing. I don't see it. I can't pass it. If there's nobody sick, it's not here. No, it's here. It's just people, some people don't even show symptoms to it. Some people think outside the box. Some people think inside the box, and a lot of these people are really thinking inside the box. They don't think about nobody but themselves. The United States is getting to where they want that money. They're getting greedy, so they're going to open up and put people in harm's way. Even though they think doing it the way they're doing it's going to work. Everybody just stay masked up when you go out. Try to avoid your distance. It's like I was in Save-A-Lot today. I was trying to get my 2 weeks shopping in advance to get it done so I don't have to go out no more. And went to the shopping store, and this woman was right on my tail. I mean, everywhere I went, she had to be like she was right there. She wouldn't wait, and she'd go beside me, then she'd turn around and come back. It was acting like she was sick and maybe trying to pass it, or sick and trying to pass something or doing something, but she was not in her 6-foot bubble for me. And I don't, even without this virus, I don't like people doing that anyway. So the virus really doesn't affect me. I don't like people in my space. That's my space. Leave me alone. But the guy behind me was waiting until I was done, and he was going behind me in order too. But if y'all want to see them screenshots, I screenshotted the conversation I had with the woman. So, if you want to see that, I do not care one bit to post them. I will scrape her name out because I'm pretty sure she's watching. I will scrape her name out, or you can message me and I'll show them to you exactly how the conversation went. It's kind of a long conversation. And then she posted something after we had this conversation that aggravated me, but she's like, well, if you post something else, I'm going to block you. Well, no. I'm going to post something, but I'm going to tell you what I've got to say. You know, and then you can block me. That just takes you off of my page. No big deal to me. I've got like 800-900 some people, and I'll probably have way less than that after this video's over. But, if you post, remember, if you post something on your page and somebody voices an opinion, don't get mad. Don't get butthurt about it. And I'm trying to say that in a nice way because I am on Facebook and I'm trying not to cuss. And I'm going to have family that watches this and the preacher's going to watch it. So I'm trying to be good and I don't want to have to go beep and beep it all out. But, or edit it and beep it all out, I should say. Because I just want to post it when I'm done. But anyway, what I'm trying to say, you post stuff for an opinion. I post stuff for an opinion. I want your opinion. Don't post it if you don't want somebody's opinion. Don't post it and say, well, I'm not going to take any argument. Well, don't post it because somebody like me is going to run across it and I'm going to say something that's going to offend you. Because that's what I do. I offend. I can't help it. It's in my nature. I am a blunt person. I try to offend sometimes nicely, but it doesn't work that way. I'm not the one to kind of sugarcoat it. It's coming out and I'm not going to think about it. I used to. But I've been in some situations that just anymore, I don't think, and it comes out. So, please, people, stay at home. That's all that you need to do. Stay at home. It will be over with. It will be over with. If the United States would have done that, like New Zealand done it, it would have been over with. New Zealand got it. They figured it out. They acted faster. They done what needed to be done. Their numbers are dropping, like tremendously dropping. Even though some people isn't on page with it, but a lot of people's not doing the quarantine thing, even though they're supposed to for 14 days. My opinion, they should put them on an ankle bracelet and force them to stay. I mean, I just don't know what else to do. You broke quarantine or broke whatever. And it's like even with the preachers and stuff that was wanting to have church on that Sunday. Don't get mad because they went around and took license plate numbers of whatever. I'm glad they did because them people can stay at home. They have to stay at home. They have to be quarantined. If they're not, then they get a police officer parked up beside them. Protect people. Protect people around you. Whether... I don't care how you look at it. Protect yourself. I mean, I don't know how much more I can say this will be over with if you all do this. I mean, that's just point blank. It would be over with. But some people just don't get it. It's because they're not seeing it happen to them. When it hits your family, you will understand. I have a niece that is in quarantine right now because of a situation. She was around for 2 weeks. That person got sick. Now they're making her stay at home until April the 30th. And she was the one that looked at me one day and said, you're taking this too serious. Well, now look at her. She is quarantined, and the chances are, that was a fly, the chances are she's going to have it. It's just a matter of the time when it comes. So people, please just take this stuff seriously. Stay at home. Do what you're supposed to do. We can get back to normal. More normal than what we are now. I mean, I get it. A lot of people's not going to take the vaccine when they get it. I've got parents that has underlying health conditions. I'm going to take it. Because what if they can't? Or what if something's wrong that they can't take that vaccine? And maybe I might not be able to take it. But I'm going to take it to protect them. And vaccines are usually safe. We've all took them when we was a kid growing up. That's why it takes so long to have them made, is they have to go through test trials. It's the same as we're having to do. We're having to go through the spiral before we can even think about going into phase 1. People's like, oh, they're going to open up our state. No. There is so many benchmarks that we have to go over in order to even get into that first stage. We have to have a down spiral in numbers for 14 days. Everything has to go from what it did yesterday, which I don't remember how many we had yesterday, 150 something. But it's got to keep going down. If we get to day 10 and say we're at 40 cases a day and it shoots back up to 70, we have to start all the way back over and then work our way back down before we can get into stage 1. Or if we get into stage 1 and they see a spike, they shut it back down again and we start all the way back over. So they're doing it to protect us. These working people are just going to have to go find other jobs in the meantime. If that's what they want to do, go find another job. Go help out. Go volunteer. Go do something with your time if you want to work that bad. I mean, I get it. I get it. People wants to go back to work. But please, go do something else instead of being out here protesting and trying and passing it around because you may not know you have. But until then, I'm going to get off here. I've ranted for almost 30 minutes and people's probably like, God, she ain't going to shut up. Well, I'm going to shut up now. Please, y'all just take care. Don't just stay at home. Do what you got to do. Stay at home. Spend time with family. Like I said, this is the best thing that could come out of this, is people learning them. People learning themselves. People learning family. But until then, y'all take care of each other. And for all you ones that watch me, I will see you all Monday night. So please, take care. Stay safe. And remember, you're not invincible. Everybody on earth is not invincible. Just remember that.